Hello there. My name is Jean, a girl from Kansas. If you want to hear the tale of how I discovered my best friend and boyfriend secretly dating behind my back, please click like and subscribe for me. Thank you, guys. Due to the fact that I was a shy and timid girl since childhood, I became an easy target for the mean boys around me. But my neighbor Martina has stood up for me countless times. Our friendship started from there. And until we were in high school, Martina remained my only and closest friend. Martina is the person who taught me a lot of things. Thanks to her, I went from being a shy girl to being much more confident. And it was Martina who taught me how to make myself more beautiful.
Jean, what do you see in the mirror?
It's me and you?
That's wrong, my dear. I see the two most beautiful and popular girls in school.
Martina and I quickly became famous at school for our beauty, and we were always surrounded by enthusiastic crowds. Thanks to Martina, I am no longer shy and afraid. But instead, I happily accept all the love they give me. Martina and I become closer and closer day by day. And I think that there is nothing in this universe that can separate us. But any journey has an end, and the end of this journey begins with a name, which is Jacob. That day, while we were having lunch, Jacob passed by us, and coincidentally, he slipped and fell right at our feet. Even though he had almost all of his food tray spilled on him, it seemed like there was absolutely no problem at all for him. He looked up, smiled, and spoke to me in an extremely charming tone.
Sorry, ladies, I was so careless. Already disturbing your lunch.
There's no problem. We're fine. Jacob then winked at us and left with a smile. While I was still immersed in daydreaming, Martina pulled me back to reality.
Hello, Jean, are you still there? Oh, God, wake up.
I'm fine.
No, I see that your soul has been captured by him.
Well, I don't know, Martina.
I know you too well, Jean. But listen, more flies are taken with honey than with gall. I am a person with a lot of experience with that stuff.
I could barely hear Martina's words as my mind was filled with images of Jacob. Then that day passed with countless rosy scenarios in my head. The next day, while Martina and I were walking in the park, a burglar dashed by and robbed my bag. It wasn't the first time we'd met this issue, and I was eager to see Martina defeat another robber. But just as Martina was finishing up preparing, a figure sped by behind us at breakneck speed, headed squarely toward the robber. The robber now appeared to be being chased by a cruise missile, and that was none other than Jacob. He quickly caught the robber, and my bag was safely returned to me. When his eyes met mine and he smiled with me, I believed my heart had melted. The following days, Jacob invited me to dinner and to the movies together. We had a lot of lovely times together, and I completely fell in love with this sweet guy. But my best friend, Martina, was the polar opposite of my happiness.
Jean, I feel like there are a lot of things wrong with Jacob.
What's wrong, Martina? He is very sweet and kind. I feel very happy.
That's the feeling of first love, Jean. I've gone through enough painful experiences with the thing called love to have the sharp premonition I have now.
I see the only person with a problem here is you, Martina. Are you jealous of me?
Jealous? Jean, I'm trying to protect you.
Do I look like I need your protection? Jacob is doing it much better than you. After hearing that sentence from me, Martina immediately left. It's best that way. I can't have a friend who is jealous of my happiness. Now my only concern is one, and that is Jacob. After that day, Martina and I became completely strangers. Even if we met at school, we never paid attention to each other's existence. Jacob and I have more and more happy times together. I thought about our perfect wedding by the beach in bright sunshine. But my beautiful visions and my dreams were completely shattered by the person I once trusted so much, Martina. That day, while I was walking, I saw a scene that broke my heart into 1,000 pieces.
Jacob, are you telling the truth? Jean makes you feel bored?
That's right, honey. She only has one thing, beauty. Otherwise, she's bored to death.
So, Jacob, what did you call me?
My goddess, you are 1,000 times better than Jean.
I stood there watching my boyfriend and best friend flirt, wishing it was a nightmare. But what I'm seeing is a harsh reality. I hurried home and hid in my room, too terrified and miserable to face this anguish. And all I could do was cry till I completely passed out. It was already late when I was awakened by the doorbell. Martina was standing in front of the door when I opened it. How could she dare to show her face here? Martina, how dare you still come here?
Why not? I want to show you this.
I don't want to see anything from you. I've seen enough. Now get out of my sight.
Calm down, Jun. If you already saw it, then that's fine. It'll be easier for me to explain everything.
After that, I couldn't stop Martina and let her enter the house once inside. Martina showed me things more horrifying than anything I've seen today. In addition to the scene I witnessed with my own eyes, Martina also showed me that Jacob was seeing many other girls besides me. He was truly a wolf in sheep's clothing. Besides, the day I was robbed at the park was also staged by Jacob. After seeing such things from Martina, my sorrowful emotions vanished to be replaced by rage. It turned out that he had been fooling me all along, and the things he had given me had also been provided to many other girls. Martina, as if feeling the way I felt at the time, immediately created a plan to teach Jacob a lesson. Martina then explained her entire plan to expose Jacob to me, and then he would pay for what he had done. For now, I will still play the role of his loyal girlfriend. On the day Jacob's football team won at school, I volunteered to host a party for him. And Jacob, of course, consented because he still thought I was simply a girl who was fooled and taken advantage of by him like any other girl. He did not know that Martina had secretly invited all the girls he was hanging out with to the party that day to expose him. When Jacob excitedly took the mic on stage to sing a song at the end of the party, we secretly revealed all the evidence about him and all the other girls on the main screen, and that happy crowd quickly turned angry. Jacob, the party's star, has suddenly become cannon fodder for plenty of different things fired at him from below. He tried to flee, but the crowd would not let him. His victim, after Jacob led the crowd away, only Martina and I were left. Martina, I'm sorry because I raised my voice to you before. I should have listened to you.
Oh, come on, you dummy. I'm your best friend. No matter what happens, I will stand by your side.
I realized that I was too hasty in finding love and then turned my first love into a disaster, while right next to me there was always a wonderful friend like Martina. From now on, there will definitely be no force that can separate our friendships.